Welcome to Week 3 of the United States Chess League. This is FM Mike Klein reporting. We returned to divisional play this week, and on Monday night, the Western Division got things started off first. In the end, two teams emerged victorious thanks to wins by two of the strongest GMs in the division. First up was Miami and Dallas, where Board 1 looked like two cavemen bludgeoning each other for 40 moves. Senior Master Robert Perez and Grandmaster Julio Sodora seemed to have no regard for material possessions. Both players tossed their pieces around for the entire game. At one point, Sodora left his knight en prise for 5 moves, and Perez never captured it. After multiple exchange sacrifices by both players, Sodora found the sweet defensive idea 34 knight takes d5, and if his queen is captured, knight takes e3 leaves him with a rook, 2 minors, and a very healthy e-pawn, which would win easily. Instead, Perez captured back with the pawn and tried to recharge the attack by undermining Black's g6 pawn. But Sodora countered with a sideways battery on the 5th rank to repulse the pressure. Sodora's win, combined with FM Jeffrey Xiong's on board 3, gave the Destiny a 3-1 win. They now lead the West with 2.5 out of 3 matches. Week 3 also saw the re-emergence of Grandmaster Varuzhin Akobian, top board for the Seattle Sluggers. Akobian is one of only a handful of 2700s in the league, and in fact is the highest rated player in the Western Division. As the USCL season began, he was over in Istanbul representing the US for the Olympiad team, so this was his first match with the Sluggers. The presence of Akobian greatly increases the team's rating average in their match against Arizona. Winning on boards 1 and 3 was again the recipe for success, as both Akobian and National Master Joshua Sinanen chalked up wins. On board 1, in Akobian against International Master Mackenzie Molnar, after a Blumenfeld gambit, Akobian got a strong pawn center, and after 20 moves, most of Black's pieces had retreated to the 8th rank. After some tenacious defense by Molnar, he set up a fortress, which Akobian finally broke through. Molnar resigned rather than wait for the rooks to be traded and the white king to march to b7. Seattle's margin over the Scorpions was thus 3-1. After getting shut out in Week 1, the Sluggers have tallied 2 wins in a row to climb to 2nd place in the West. The Carolina Cobras have been predictably unpredictable thus far. In Week 3 against the LA Vibe, they had much the same experience as their first 2 weeks. Outrated on paper, but then once the match began, very good chances to win the match, but also some decent chances to lose. The Cobras' top boards had been the ones scoring upsets, but this time it was National Master Craig Jones, the team manager who called his own number for the first time this year. Jones got it done on board 3. He spotted FM Kostya Kovutsky more than 100 points, but found a way to pick off a few queenside pawns. Already in a losing position, Kovutsky blundered with 29 bishop takes f5, allowing Jones the multi-purpose Zwischenzug knight d5, threatening the rook on c7 and unpinning the e-pawn by virtue of the defense of the white rook on e3. Not long after, Jones got both rooks to open files, threatening knight d7 mate or knight h7 mate. This led to a forcing continuation, where Black had to resign because of the coming king e7, rook e8 check. After the win, the match was still very much up in the air. The Vibe got even on board 1, but amazingly, their 2-pawn advantage on board 4 was squandered when FM Michael Casella accidentally repeated the position 3 times. That made the score end 2-2. The Cobras, though the lowest rated team in the league, remain undefeated, opening the season with 3 straight ties. In the final matchup, St. Louis and San Francisco also ended up tied 2-2. After draws on the top 2 boards, IM Levin Bragadze beat the young talent FM Samuel Sevian by dominating the A-file. The mechanics got even on board 4, as FM Andy Lee had the largest rating advantage of anyone on the young season, nearly 400 points over Matthew Larson. 27 rook takes c4 was a great exchange sacrifice, netting Lee the open d-file, a passed h-pawn, and a great outpost for his knight on d6. It wasn't hard from there, as Lee's knight ran roughshod over Black's defenses to help his passed pawns down the board. So with Dallas and Seattle leading the West, we have 4 teams tied for 3rd place, and the other 2 teams only a half point out. Tune in next time to see how the action unfolded in the East in Week 3. Until then, we'd like to thank our sponsors, PokerStars, the ICC, and Chess.com.